Peter G Show. Divorce dad, single dad. Divorce dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
Oh, yeah. It's that time again, folks. Sunday night. Sorry, I'm getting my ducks in a row. It's been a long day. You guys think it's all easy breezy. I beg to differ. How the hell is everybody? Sunday night, right here, Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show live. Coming at you. Here comes that sound. We got a lot of stuff going on, as always. Hang on, I'm taking it all in. Today's a long day. Had fatherly duties, as always. I was running all day, but it's really good to be here. I love being in the seat until I get in the seat and this sound kicks in. Then I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock and roll. We got a lot of stuff. Again, if you have not signed on to and subscribed to YouTube channel, sorry, I'm looking around. A lot of stuff going on already. If you haven't signed on to the YouTube channel, Peter G Show, you should subscribe. I love my Facebook people, and I originally started all this on Facebook, but I'm telling you, things get kind of sketchy, and so we need to, I finally decided let's get over to start really pushing that YouTube channel because I never used to, but now it's like, everybody's got, you're on Facebook and going, well, what for? We're already on Facebook and we can see you. Hey, Pete. Hey, Paul. Already starting to get the comments. Here's another reason why you want to be on YouTube. You can comment live. You can ask me questions. I can read them while I'm on the show. You can do that on the official Peter G Show page of Facebook, but if you're on any of my other pages on Facebook, I can't see your comments until the show's over in the next day or so when I can sit down and look at them. Again, we get bombarded with emails, we get bombarded with phone calls, and nothing gets checked. I can't sit there and, it's a lot. And now it's showtime. But if you want to talk live, when we take on phone calls, which we may do that tonight, but later. But if you're, everybody look at everybody. Mike Schwartz, hey. Everybody saying, hey. So, hey. Anyway, but that's what you got to do. You need to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And don't forget, we're live on LinkedIn, too. And you can comment directly from LinkedIn, which is amazing. I didn't think that was possible, but it is. I like my LinkedIn people. It's all my TV folk. Anyway, that's what you should be doing. Last week was Mother's Day. Talked a little bit about Mother's Day and had Pepsi on the show, if you remember. Sorry, not sorry. It was his birthday, kind of brought him on, and he had a psychic reading. I gave him for his birthday a psychic reading thanks to the wonderful Heather Lawrence, psychic advisor. Came on and gave us some time, and I guess apparently Pepsi's going to be a star. I asked him to take me with him, please. But it was a good show. And, it's funny, the Mother's Day, again, everybody, posting pictures of their mothers and stuff like that. I didn't get to do that until Monday, the day after. But it's amazing that, the people that chime in. I mean, if it doesn't hit you in the heart, you're not human. Because my mother's been gone almost 5 years. And, although I was very fortunate and had her until she was 93 years old, it could 150 could never be enough, and you don't realize it. But when it's over, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. So love your parents while you can. That's all I can tell you. That's why I really try to be a decent parent. I do the best I can because I know how important that is. So you get what you put into it. You know what I'm saying? Amen. That's right. Anyway, that was last week. Next week, being that this month is Mental Health Awareness Month, I'm trying to do that. Now, last week was a little bit off the cuff because it was Pepsi's birthday and Mother's Day and stuff like that. But, the shows, we were doing mental health awareness in April as well. I said, every month is mental health awareness. I mean, there's so many facets of it. Drug addiction, abuse, mental health, not all there. I mean, just depression. I mean, it's just crazy. So You can never talk about it enough. But next week, I'm going to have somebody on who was on a couple of years ago, and she was a recovered drug addict after like 25 years. Finally stopped. Now she's suffering with the reality of her own daughter is down that same road, and it's tearing her apart. So I'm going to bring Karen back on. She's from the Alabama area, and she's going to. I can see her. She's shouting on Facebook. I watch these people. This is how I see everybody, and and I said, you need to come back on the show. I said, you really need to kind of get some stuff off your chest, and it'll do you some good. And more than anything, it'll do a lot of people a lot of good, because I promise you, whatever my guests talk about on this show, they're not the only ones. They're not pioneering in this stuff. It's fact. I'm living proof. Hi, my name is Peter G, and you're watching my show. And I thank you for it too, by the way. That's next week. On top of that, we're packing it up and we're going to the Gulf Coast. We'll be doing the shows from the Gulf Coast. Yes, sir. I'm stoked. The summer of love. I'm just very fortunate enough we're going to be doing that, but I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Tonight's special night too. I think it's very much part of mental health awareness, because it's got a lot to do with your mental health. And I'm going to have Miss Francine Martel on. She's got some stuff to talk about, because I've been watching this woman. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how we all get associated on Facebook, but we do. And it's all. I've been watching her for probably almost 2 years. Somehow or another, she either became friends of the show or this and that. But so one way or another, and I've watched her go through a few things. I've seen her, like, people post stuff. People post when somebody dies. People post when they're having surgeries, prayers for this. People post their food. So I watch everybody. That's my job. I watch. And I just said a year ago at least, I said, you need to come on my show. There was some things going on. I can't remember what it was. But I watch. And again, I'm watching her again, and there's some things going on. I said, you really need to get this stuff, come on my show. And she said, you know what? Okay. So we're just going to see what is ticking, and she's going to explain and what she's doing and how she's doing and what she's doing with her own personal life to better herself. And that's what we're going to do. So that's coming up in a minute or two. Here's what's going on, though. I could not be here. Getting to the Gulf Coast, okay? Getting to the Gulf Coast is not easy, bringing the Peter G Show to the Gulf Coast. But I'm going to the Gulf Coast because I have my own beloved Bolt Energy, electrify your senses, making it possible for me to be in the Gulf Coast and sponsoring me, as always. Like I said, they know what I do and they still sponsor me. But we're going to be doing it live from the Gulf Coast for many, many weeks. In the Bolt Energy Gulf Coast Bolt Energy Studios. But speaking of Bolt Energy, I want myself and Pepsi to tell you a little about Bolt Energy, and I'll be back in 1 second, so check it out. Hey everybody, Peter G from the Peter G Show and my friend Pepsi right here. Hey, we're here to tell you today about my beloved Bolt Energy.
Bolt Energy.
Bolt Energy. Electrify your senses. Did you know that, Pepsi?
I did not know that.
Yeah, electrify your senses. Bolt Energy has no preservatives.
No preservatives?
No, and it's enriched with antioxidants and vitamins.
Antioxidants.
It's a cleaner energy drink.
Cleaner.
That's right.
Nice.
And, a couple little tidbits you might not know, because
Yes.
I don't talk about it very often, but the Apollo mission, man on the moon.
Man on the moon. To the moon, Alice.
Bolt Energy.
Moon.
That's right.
Electrify.
That's right. If you would have looked in their storage bins, what do you think you would have found?
Bolt Energy.
Bolt Energy. Ask for it in stores, Bolt Energy, and tell them the Peter G Show sent you. How's that?
Hey, Peter G.
All right. Peace out. Love you guys.
Peace.
That's right. Bolt Energy. No preservatives. Can't find that in any other energy drink. These guys are workout fanatics. That's what I love about them. I mean, they're just the real deal. And most energy drinks, people say, oh, there's, a bunch of stuff in them. And they're not what is good for you. But these guys figured out a way, because they are workout fanatics. They wanted a cleaner energy drink. It's not going to get you bouncing off the walls, but it is going to give you that little kick in the ass, what you need, and get you going without a crash. And so if you're looking to get, bouncing off the walls, you need to go drink, 8 cups of espresso or something like that. Some people want that buzz, but that's not really good for you either. Anyway, thank you, Bolt Energy, for getting it ready, because I'm telling you, we'll be packing it up, and next stop, Gulf of Mexico, baby. Looking forward to it. Always a good time. But make no mistake, there's a lot of work involved. Scout's honor. Anyway, okay, tonight, coming up, as I said, Fran Martel, or Francine Martel, Fantastic 50. I'm going to bring her on, and we're going to get to the bottom. I'll be asking some questions, seeing how she's doing, and then she'll tell us how she's doing. And again, I think it does everybody a little bit of good, because, as I said, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, green, yellow, male, female, everybody's got problems. And we're just here to share stories, okay? Just people sharing stories, because you never know who might need to hear what, you're saying, because they're just several steps behind you. So without further ado, Francine, are you ready? Take your head for me. Okay. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Francine Martel. Hey. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. I'm great. How are you, Peter?
Well, it's showtime. It's always that mad rush until you get going, and now we're going, and we're going good. But I appreciate you staying up late. Number one, I know you're on the East Coast somewhere, right? And
That's correct.
yeah. So again, I was just before you came on, I was telling everybody that I don't know how our Facebook pages ever got caught up together, but somehow or another, probably 2 years ago at least, because I can't keep track anymore. There's just too many people. But the thing was, somehow or another, we ended up on and I do a lot of Facebook work. Again, I modeled this version of Life with Peter G with Facebook, because I watch a lot of Facebook people go through life. And I watch you, and I think I've seen, a few ups and downs, so to speak, because people tend to use Facebook to express themselves. And you did, several years ago. And, in between all the good stuff, I'd see some stuff that's kind of weird, not weird, but just life, and I'm going, what's going on with that girl? And it kind of fell into my wheelhouse. And I'm going, this was back a long time ago, again, at least a year ago. And I'm saying, you should come on my show. But you said, yeah, that would be great. But then again, I lost you,
Right.
I lost you. And then you're off doing your thing. I'm doing my thing. This happens a lot with my guests. I mean, I have an average of about a 2-year span that it takes for me to get guests on my show. Just life, just kind of swings everybody around. But then again, you're back. So I caught you again not too long ago, I said, hey, you should come on my show. And you said, you know what? Maybe now's the time.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But from if I was to look at you, which I am, or anybody was to look at you and go, look, attractive woman, what could possibly go wrong, be wrong in her life?
Oh, pick a topic. I mean, we could go from single mom parenting to having a child who struggled with addiction issues for 10 plus years, divorce, domestic assault, court issues. I've had quite a few life experiences. I've had many ups, but quite a few downs as well.
Yeah, we tend to take the downs. I mean, those are the ones that kind of hurt. When life is going good, that's the thing about this show. I feel like when everybody's like, I can tell when people even get in relationships on Facebook, because they kind of disappear off Facebook. They get busy, preoccupied, but then all of a sudden they're out of a relationship and like, oh, they're back. I see that a lot, and I get it. I mean, I'm busy. I do this because this is my job. But okay, so you've been married?
I was married once. So a little bit of context about me. I had my daughter at the age of 20, married shortly thereafter. And by the age of 27, I had 2 children and I was divorced. And then I went on to work for 30 years nonstop. And like I said, single parenting, and, with all the challenges and the joys that come with single parenting. But yeah, it was difficult.
Wow. Okay. So how many years were you married for?
Oh, it was very short. I was married for probably about 3.5 years.
2 kids with the same man?
No, actually. So I was a teenage mom. I had a high school boyfriend for 7 years. And it's totally stereotypical. Conceived pretty much on prom night, and 9 months later, my daughter was born. So I had my daughter at the age of 20, and then a couple years after, I met my husband, and we got married and had a son from that relationship. So I was only ever married once.
I got you. Okay. I mean, again, when you're young, I sometimes think back and I'm going, I can't believe I don't have children. You know what I mean? Because we all did that it was natural, but it's just the way it was. And I mean, I'm really thankful. I don't know. You just deal with it. Whatever happens, you deal with it. Okay. So you weren't married very long? Just a lot of love?
Yeah. Well, so that's the interesting thing. So while a lot of my friends were, enjoying university life and whatnot, I was a young mom. I was working full time, got married very young. Unfortunately, my divorce ended, and it was an abusive relationship. And I did leave for those reasons, and then went on a path of, being single and being solely focused on providing for my family as a single parent. So I didn't get most of the dating experiences that most people have. Like I said, I got out of a marriage probably by the age of 27. And it wasn't until much, much later that I really started to date. So I don't know if I had as much experience as most people did. And I fell into some bad relationships once I started dating.
And why do you think that is?
One of my biggest lessons learned, I was engaged in 2015, 16 timeframe. And I remember it was a very tragic breakup. What had happened was, for the first time, by the time 2015, 16 rolled around, I thought for the first time, I'm in love, I'm going to get married, and finally, the wait was well worth it. And once we got engaged, and we put the announcement out, on Facebook and all your different platforms, and I got a big surprise. His ex-wife sent me a number of pictures of him and her. Apparently, he was still seeing her the whole time he was with me, and some pretty graphic pictures and emails and all that kind of stuff. And I remember I went from really healthy and doing a free fall. I developed depression. I developed situational anxiety. I took probably about 2 years of counseling. I took CBT, which is like cognitive behavioral therapy, which to this day, I credit that therapy for helping me move beyond the depression and the anxiety. But I remember in discussions with my counselor, I remember, asking him, how did I miss the signs and, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, is it just my lack of experience? How do I make sure that, I don't end up in this type of situation again? And I remember him telling me, sometimes not everyone has the same moral compass as you do. And I know it sounds simplistic, but I just assume that everyone sort of thinks the same way or behaves the same way. And so if you're going to be honest or be, faithful, that, everyone's sort of like that. And I know, like I said, it sounds kind of silly now, but I remember my doctor saying, there's nothing wrong with that. You're just going through life and you're just trusting people. And so I had to learn to kind of, and maybe part of it is I'm Canadian and we sort of tend to kind of, be really nice and forgive everybody and sort of overlook a lot of things. And I've just had to learn to kind of sometimes not take everything at face value and look a little bit deeper. But I remember my doctor saying, it's not such a bad thing. You just you have a bit of a blind spot and you just have to make sure that, you take a second look. But at the same time, you don't want to go through life mistrusting everyone either.
Okay. So, I get that. But okay. So look, it's very natural for people to have nowadays, especially, I mean, my mother and father, argued like Fred and Ethel, and they stuck, it was the days when you stuck through it till death do we part. Really meant till death do we part.
Right.
But nowadays, everybody's so 15 minutes, and if it's not fun anymore, a lot of people quit. what do you do?
And
I mean,
I come from that type of a family, right? My mom and dad are still married 50 plus years. To this day, I don't think I've ever really seen my parents argue in front of us ever. And I often would say to my mom and dad, you showed me an unrealistic version of what
nowadays,
marriage looks like, and my parents said, no, we do have our discussions and we do argue. We just do it privately. But yeah, I come from that type of a background where, once you make a commitment, your word is everything and you work at it.
I know, but I firmly believe that there are marriages that do not, there are toxic marriages that should be, done with. I mean, there just are, but a lot of people just don't stick through the hard times and forget why they were in love. I mean, okay, so I mean, damage wise, I mean, for you, so it obviously messed you up somewhat. You're telling me you're going to therapies and this kind of stuff, correct?
Right. So I took, like I said, 2+ years almost of therapy. I would say probably by the time 2019 rolled around, I would say I was pretty much at my best emotionally, physically, spiritually. I had done a lot of work on myself. I had started changing, my eating habits, my exercise routine. I started, taking up sports and, kickboxing and sort of things that just empowered me again. And I definitely would say I was living my best life. And that's sort of how I sort of morphed into this Fantastic 50. Everyone started calling me Fantastic 50 as a nickname. And then I guess I've just launched recently a brand. And the Fantastic 50 brand is it's all about living your best life and changing the narrative around how we act or how we think or how we behave when it comes to, 40 and over.
I get it, but in fact, I remember watching like some little video clips of you boxing or kickboxing or something. I go, wow,
Right.
this girl's getting badass, because I'm telling you, while you were getting badass, I was getting fat ass. I was just.
Oh no, you weren't.
Yes. I mean, look, it's not a whole lot to work with here. Okay, I clearly admit it. But the thing was, it just I was so enthralled with trying to working this show, and like my physical health was taking a back seat. It really was, because I had still a lot of things going on, again, mentally, physically, all of the above. There's a lot of things going on in the background. It's not all bowl of cherries. I always talk about this stuff and I'm very open about it, but I'm watching, I'm going, she's kicking ass. I'm going, and on top of that, look, it's not too hard to say. You're an attractive woman. It's not hard. It can't be that hard for you to get a date. I mean, I know how these guys, like you told me yourself when we were talking, you started a TikTok account, haven't even done much with it, and already have like 60-something thousand, followers or whatever. You know what I mean? But that's just the way it is. It's just like, so you don't have a hard, picking up if you want to start dating again. But what happens after that? I mean, you have to be good with yourself.
Well, so I will say this. I will say, first of all, quality over quantity. But, what's, sorry.
No, I get that. But still, there's,
but,
you probably have a pick. You can pick what you want.
Oh, I don't know. But I would say this. I would say, I remember when I came out of that broken engagement, and I remember, I had developed depression and anxiety. And I remember at one point that defining moment where I said, okay, Fran Martel, the pity party is over. And I remember saying to myself, you're going to do two things. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your frustrations out on the gym. It's not going to be alcohol or drugs or food or prescription drugs. You're going to channel that, and you're going to go to the gym, and you're going to take your frustrations out on either the gym or the kickboxing, which, by the way, kickboxing became very therapeutic for me. But the second thing I remember saying to myself was, and you have to keep in mind, I was in a very unhealthy mental state at that time, but I said, the second thing you're going to do is you're going to upgrade this man on an epic level. Like, your next man is going to be way better than him. And the funny thing about that, now I look back and I laugh, because I think it was so incredibly unhealthy for me to say that. But the funny thing is, I upgraded myself. And what happened was, as I upgraded myself, I started attracting a different caliber of men. And so, obviously I had done the work internally in terms of with a counselor, and, and I became an avid reader. I had an insatiable appetite for reading self-help books. And I called it going to the gym for my mind. So, the body was getting stronger and the mind was getting stronger. And, and then, my appearance started changing a little bit. And I guess, maybe I was becoming a little bit more positive, a little bit more attractive. And I started attracting a different caliber of men. And in some cases, I would say, I was attracting men that maybe had more money than some of the men that I was dating before. And with that came, some good, but let me tell you, there was a whole other issues that came along with that I was not prepared for.
I think there's probably pros and cons with every relationship.
Right.
Again, but being, being a guy, I know how guys are. It's like if you have the flexibility to court, they will, and we will, and it's all fun, and it's like, because let's face it, again, you're an attractive woman. It's like if I was going to go after you, you start throwing things and stuff, and it kind of, it's like, well, this is fun. But after that, when you finally get into the neutral zone to where you finally really start to get to know each other, then it's like, do we honestly really like each other? Or was it the what do we used to call it? The ether, the ether of the whole event, there's more to it beyond that. So, it goes both ways.
Right. And I would say too, right, as I was perhaps improving myself, even on the outside, you would attract different types of people, and sometimes, often men would only see you as perhaps being, two-dimensional, as opposed to, often it was, just, sit there, look pretty, don't have an attitude, or don't have an opinion, or don't have a say, or they expected you to be, complicit, or, and, I'm French Canadian, so I don't roll that way. So that hasn't always gone well. But yeah, so it was a learning experience for me. But like I said, every relationship, it has its good, its bads. You learn about yourself. It's all about self-growth.
Okay, so you've had your ups and downs, and you've delved in, because again, it's I get it. It's let's not kid each other, okay? And not
right.
Dating
is hard. It's not easy.
No, but the thing is, as a human being, at least as a male, I'm a visual guy. I would not know and get involved with you because I was hot for your mind. Okay.
Right.
I'm just. Right. It's just the way it is. It's like, okay. It's like, if I went after, it's like, wow, I do, seriously, it's like, that's, me, right there. But so then if you have money, it's like, let's do this, let's do that, let's do that. But at the end of the day, again, it boils down to what after the love is gone, after the thrill is gone,
right.
Can you handle it?
Right.
So it's nice when you have somebody that has money. Who doesn't want to have, go and do fun stuff and expensive stuff, or just be able to do what they want to do. But at the end of the day, it all starts with visually seeing somebody and going, I'm attracted to that person. And but if you're poor and I see some, I honestly, it's like if I was, looking and I go, I can't do, there's not even any reason for me to say hello because she's out of my league.
Yeah, well, I think for me it's, especially when I moved to Florida, right? There are a lot of men in Florida who feel like, they can stand on their wallets and they don't need to bring anything else to the table other than just standing on their wallets.
You think it's only in Florida?
Oh, well, look, I haven't traveled extensively, but I know coming from Canada and then landing in Florida, it was definitely a culture change for me. When I first got to Florida, I remember people looking at me just based on my appearance, and I would get judgments like, "Oh,
Exactly.
you must have fleeced, an ex-husband for a lot of support, or or you must have never worked, or or your life must have been so easy. You look like you've been taken care of your whole life." And I thought, wow, nothing could be further from the truth. I've been working since the age of 19, 20, nonstop, never had support, no child support. I did everything 100% on my own.
Okay, but here's the thing. I remember, because I'm pretty good with interiors, car interiors. And I remember this was early on. Whatever you were sitting in it had a diamond tuck leather interior, and it smelled from here like an S63 Mercedes coupe. Am I correct?
Right.
I am right. Okay.
Right.
I'm pretty good with cars, sadly. But the thing is, I'm going, something's going right for this girl. Either, I'm going, okay, she's money again, the whole deal. And I'm thinking as a guy, and I'm just being honest with you. I mean, but the thing is, everybody can be a bitch. Okay. I can be a bitch. You can be a bitch. But the thing is, are you, are you, we're all nice in the beginning, but how is everything? You know what I mean?
Right. I think, am I good at relationships? I think I'm great in relationships. I think I've been shitty at picking partners. I think I'm guilty of that.
Fair enough.
I think, look, do I have boundaries on what's acceptable and what's not acceptable? Do I have values and principles that I stick to? Absolutely. Am I the type of person who can be controlled, or, look, you can't disrespect me and demean me and expect me to stick around. If you don't have self-worth, if you're an insecure individual, we probably won't do well together. At the end of the day, you talked earlier about, what is it? At the end of the day, you have to have somebody who, matches your moral compass. You have to be somewhat aligned in your values. And for me, that's been extremely, important to me. Unfortunately, what I have found is, not everyone is honest about that. And so I have found myself, I would say, in two different times, two relationships with people who absolutely were leading a completely separate, secret life that no way in a million years would I have anticipated. When I say to you, blindsided, completely blindsided.
Sure.
So
it's all about getting, I mean, honestly, I get that. Okay. But I don't know, again, at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm going, it's tough. I mean, as a man, I can, especially if it's a man has a wallet, it's like, you got the confidence to go after anything, because look, when I moved to Hollywood, I would see these really good looking girls that were messing with these fat Japanese guys, or just old guys to pay their rent. I mean, they're paying their rent, and I could never do that. As a man, I could never do that. You know what I mean? But we all again, I see things differently. But that's just me. Sugar mamas don't work for me. It's like I have to really be into the person. And you were talking about, being respectful. There's nothing wrong with having respect for each other. You should. I like a confident woman, but I also like, but I also want a woman that's into me as much as I'm into her, or maybe even more. It's just the way it is. But this is just, it's called a relationship. Not a one-way relationship. It's a two-way relationship. So, whatever floats your boat. But, but either way. Okay, so here we are now. We're fast forwarding to okay, we've kind of caught with that. But recently I've seen you've gone through a few more ups and downs.
Yeah.
What's going on with this girl? Because it seems like this girl's kind of got everything. I mean, it seems like you're not living in a trailer park,
Well, actually,
you are?
No, I would say no. Well, let's just say no. Let's just say I would say this. I would say this was a huge reason for wanting to come on your show. I get a lot of comments, especially on my TikTok account, where everyone just always assumes that my life is just so perfect and everything is, sort of, I've got money and my life's just amazing. And I would have said, up until last summer, that was true. I was in Florida. I had taken an unpaid leave of absence from the federal government, and my plan had been to come to Florida and just, take some time off after a 30-year career. I felt I was definitely in the best physical shape of my life. I was enjoying my time in Florida. I was relaxed, zero stress, finances were good. I was dating. I was having an amazing time. And I would say right up until September, I met a dentist from Virginia Beach, and we went on a few dates, and he had asked me if I wanted to go to Los Cabos with him. And I had said to him, you know what, let's have a few dates in Florida first. And, if we get on and I trust you and that sort of thing, then for sure I'll go to Los Cabos. Now, in my defense, with COVID, I hadn't been traveling or going anywhere. And so the idea of a vacation in Los Cabos was appealing to me. And I did enjoy my time with him on the previous dates. And so I met him in Los Cabos. And it was during our trip in Los Cabos where he said, I can do cosmetic dentistry, and my teeth were quite good at the time. I had composites done in 2016, but they weren't porcelain. And he had said to me, I could do porcelain veneers for you. I could do 8 of them, but it would require you coming to Virginia Beach. And I said, sure. I said, that sounded like a great idea. It sounded like a great gift. And I had already spent some time with him in Los Cabos. And so I flew to his home with him in Virginia Beach. And then that's sort of when my whole life got derailed, just like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. While you're talking to me, I'm trying to read some of these comments. I'm getting some crazy comments for things like I'm not really understanding. Yeah, I am. And somebody, these latest ones, you're talking about dating, not about domestic violence. Okay, sorry. You know what I mean? We got sidetracked.
Okay.
But here's the thing again. And I'm getting a lot of. There's some people with some big balls commenting right now. Here's the thing. And
okay.
I want to. Do you mind if we open up the phone lines or something like that? Because I don't understand.
No, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think this is what we're gonna do, people, because this is really kind of getting confusing to me. I don't know who, and why, but good. But whatever it is, it's I have Francine on the show to talk about what she feels she wants to talk about. Okay, and if you disagree or agree, so let's stay on topic. Why don't you come run the fucking show? All right. You know what I mean? It's real simple. It's like I'm gonna What? Not
I
you.
I should probably also tell you that, I've had many attempts at being quiet. I've been threatened in terms of staying quiet with respect to my story. So, but at the end of the day, it's my story and it's mine to tell. So here we are.
At the end of the day, here we go. And watch this. At the end of the day, it's my show. And it's like, I appreciate people coming on the show. And everybody's got a voice and an opinion. But again, innocent till proven guilty. And I don't care. I mean, I'm not here to hang anybody. I'm not here to persecute anybody. I don't know, who or what. But the thing is, if you have a short story you want to share, I'm going to let you share it. And if it's, it's for the people to decide whether they want to believe or not believe, kind of like our politics nowadays. But the thing is, here's what I'm going to do, people. Okay, I'm going to. Here we are. We're back together again, and because I love the banter, I appreciate the back and forth. But don't go coming after me like I'm supposed to know every friggin' thing. I do what I can do, and we're going to open up the phone lines. And if you want to talk to Francine, you can talk to Francine. It's real simple, and we're going to talk about it. But again, be nice, all right? Because I'll just hit the hang up button again. Everybody is equal on my show, okay? Otherwise, I wouldn't have you on my show. And I don't deal with assholes, so be polite. And that's what I'm going to do. And give me a second here because I got to change over. This COVID thing has really, taken this show. It's harder for us because now I have to have people remotely dealing with things for me. And it's just now, I actually went to a horse show today with my daughter, and I want to say 90% of the people didn't have masks on in California. And it was so great. It was so wonderful to not have to have people looking at where's your mask? But okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open up phone lines, okay? 818-259-7983. If you want to talk to Francine, you call and I'm going to answer the phone and then let's tell me what the hell is going on, because again, a lot of conflicting messages going on here. I can't keep up with them. There's more to them than you think. I got 5 different areas I'm looking at. But again, in the meantime, we'll talk. But if I do get a phone call, okay, all these people with the balls who are commenting, it's like pick up the phone and call. That's and in the meantime, we will talk, because I don't understand this. Wait a minute, hang on. I mean, there's a chance. Okay, take a deeper. Yeah, I know they kind of pushed a button, because I'm seeing there's so much weird stuff I don't understand at all, and it's flying by too quick for me to understand. But again, at the end of the day, I don't have this kind of conflict, and I don't mind it. It's good and healthy. But the problem is you're just telling what you want to tell. So keep going. So you just recently kind of had some issues, okay? And if the phone rings, I'm going to interrupt you, okay?
Right.
Go.
So, okay. So, and I think I posted recently on my Facebook what the recent situation that happened for me. So I think I mentioned I had gone to Virginia Beach, and this dentist had gifted me 8 porcelain veneers. And I had gone to his office, and he had prepped my teeth. And what that requires is they pretty much shave down your teeth they're like paper thin and gray looking, and it's really not attractive. Normally the procedure is they'll put on temporary teeth until the porcelain veneers are constructed and then installed. In my particular case, because he owned his own practice, he had said,
hang on. I'm sorry. I got a phone call. I'm going to take it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, hang on. Hi, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Okay. Hey, Francine. How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Hey, turn the show down behind you, because it's 10-second delay and it's going to echo back.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
See? Turn the show down.
Because it's 10 seconds.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is the dentist she's talking about.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, say hi to the dentist she's talking about, Francine.
Yeah. I'm just going to watch out what she says and follow up with any lawsuits accordingly. She's involved in a number as it is now, but we'll see.
Okay, but now's your, I mean, you made the phone call to call in. So, I mean, again, I don't know anything about anything. I'm just kind of moderating, but since you're on the phone, here's your chance.
You need to do due diligence about what she's about to claim. They are inaccurate. They're filled with accuracies, discrepancies, lies. You don't need to go any further than that.
Okay, but you didn't give me your name. But wait a minute, hang on one second. The thing is, I don't, because he's referring to me now. I need to do my due diligence. It's not my job. I'm just, she wanted to share stories. I'm letting her share her story. I don't judge. I don't know who you are. I have nothing against you. I have nothing against her. I'm just the guy that's like saying she wanted to come out and talk about something, and I'm letting her talk. I'm giving you that same day in court right now.
She can talk all she wants as long as she keeps to a private conversation and doesn't go into the specifics that are falsehoods. She is going to claim assault that was dismissed. She's going to claim that I offered those veneers. She begged me for them. She goes from one gentleman to another looking for money, and she has no job, no car, no place to live, but yet she exudes, even to you, this beautiful, perfect appearance. And I think you need to know her a little better.
Okay. I mean, anything?
May I respond?
Sure.
I would love to respond. Thank you, Peter. So in response to that, I would say in terms of the falsehoods, one, there is a charging document charging this particular dentist with assault. and it's posted on my Facebook, and it's available at any courthouse. The second thing also is with respect to the assault. The reason why the case was dismissed is not because this particular dentist was not guilty. It's because I participated, and actually this is something I really wanted to talk about this evening. In Virginia Beach, the way the criminal system works is it's not considered domestic assault unless you live with the individual or you have a child together. And in my particular case, because I was visiting his home, it's called assault and battery. Assault and battery, what happens is usually it would be the state that prosecutes a case. When it's assault and battery, it becomes a citizen versus a citizen, unlike the state versus this particular dentist. What that did for me was it created huge issues. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that you would ever have a victim who would prosecute their own case. And that was the situation that I found myself in. I had two choices. One, I could spend money and hire an attorney, which I didn't have. Or two, I could prosecute my own case. And with that comes a number of issues trying to prosecute a case, especially when I was trying to do it from Florida. And I did fly out to Virginia and attend. I was successful in getting a protective order, but the case was dismissed in January, February of this year. And that's only because I didn't have the funds to continue to prosecute. But this particular doctor will be looking at a civil suit for damages. And in fact, I've just started a GoFundMe so that I have the money to have legal funds to pursue him. Yeah. And in terms of him actually saying that I don't have a job or I don't have a car, what you should know is when I met this particular individual, I was driving a BMW convertible that I was leasing for over $1,000 a month. And I was actually picking him up at the airport on our dates, and he was taking pictures of how beautiful my car was. So for him to suggest that I didn't have a car, that's the truth now, because he's completely derailed me financially, and I've had to pay lawyers. I was held up in hotels for a month at a time. And in fact, it's funny because he claims that there was never any assault. The day that I fled his house, and your viewers should know this, I fled his house with nothing more than just a see-through nightgown on. I had no shoes. The only thing I had was my purse. He kept my phone and all my other belongings. It took me having to go to a Goodwill store to basically just find a proper attire to be able to go to a store, buy another cell phone. I checked in and out of hotels for 10 days. And I had to get lawyers. I had to get the Canadian embassy to step in. He kept my belongings and my cell phone for 10 days. I lived like a homeless person, going to Walmart or checking into hotels with a plastic bag of clothing, of whatever I could buy for that day. I did that for 10 days. And then I continued to stay in hotels for another additional 3 weeks until I couldn't afford it anymore. And I wasn't getting anywhere because we were mid-procedure on my teeth. What happened was he assaulted me on the eve of the installation of my veneers. And it ended up being over a month of me sticking around in Virginia Beach trying to get all of this stuff sorted out. And then finally I had to return to Florida disfigured, and only at the end of March 30th, that just passed, is when I had my final veneers. It took about 6 to 7 months between dentists, and first of all, a lot of dentists in Florida wouldn't finish his sloppy job and the incomplete work because they didn't want to take on the risks of doing the work that another dentist had done in a different state. So I required dental surgery. I required a number of dental visits. And like I said, it was almost $40,000 and 6 to 7 months later. And I was left disfigured. I had no social life. People didn't see me going anywhere because, like I said, I had 3 sets of temporaries put in during that period of time.
Okay. So hang on. So again, I'm sorry. You didn't give me your name. So I'm just going to say caller. She's just, I let you have your piece. She had her piece. Now what?
Move on. That's it's all gonna.
Okay, I wasn't expecting this. Okay, I don't, but that's between you two. I have no idea. But it's he said, she said. So I guess your guys are going to work it out, peacefully. I would, life is too short, man. I don't know what. I don't know how she, or what, or if you're going to tell me that everything she's saying is not true. I do not know, but I just happen to be here, because we were talking about other things, and now it led to this.
Ask Miss Martel to move on with her life. We certainly have. There is no malpractice. There is no. She was offered her teeth multiple times, and she refused. She refused so that she could get a larger lawsuit against the dentist. And with her woe is me, her victim attitude. She found another fine gentleman in Miami who fronted her the money for her work, but she'd still be doing that. And then she turned on him and filed a lawsuit on him. He gave her $50,000 or more.
How'd you find this out?
It's a public record.
Okay.
It's in the Miami-Dade County court system.
Okay. Well, I mean, again, we're just our history goes way before whatever this current situation is, but it kind of led to this.
Different girl than maybe, but she's not now. She's a predator. She I can tell you 5 last year that she has preyed on and has received at least $70,000. So when she says she's poor, she took the money I gave her and sued me. She could have got her teeth and left town. She didn't want to do that.
Okay.
I sued him. When did I sue him? What lawsuit is he talking about? When have I sued him?
Excuse me. She spent it on the lawyers she discussed. Okay. 2 lawyers locally. Okay. Neither one took her case. But she spent $8,000.
Okay, but let's talk man to man. I mean, as a guy. Okay, I mean, and if you have a little bit of money, sure, I can see that. I would hey, come on, let's do this. Let's go do that. That probably is with all these guys, right?
Absolutely. Okay. I made a mistake. Well, ask her where she found me. It's on a website called Seeking. It's about sugar girls looking for somebody to take care of them.
You know what? I will address that. So first of all, seekingarrangement.com is not one of those websites where it's solely that. I think I mentioned to you that I was coming out of an engagement. The last thing I wanted to do was go onto a website that was pretending to be marriage minded. There was no way, after what I had gone through, there was no way that I was going to sign up for that. And so I did go on a website called Seeking Arrangement. Seeking Arrangement is aimed at basically 2 individuals coming to the table and saying, look, are you looking for something short-term, medium-term, long-term? What is it that you're looking for? What is it that I'm looking for? I don't know that it's necessarily a sugar baby, sugar daddy website. I think every relationship is an arrangement of some sort. It's 2 people basically figuring out what it is that they both bring to the table and what it is that they're looking for. And the funny thing is, I met this particular dentist. I met him probably, I think, a year, way before. And he had approached me and I said, I'm sorry, I'm dating somebody. So, and then a year went by until he approached me again last summer. And so we went on 2 dates, like I said, in Florida. And then the third one was in Los Cabos. And so for him to suggest, the funny thing is I found out that he was seeing 3 other women in Florida. And the one day I picked him up at the airport, this one lady by the name of Janine actually contacted me and she said, you were dating the dentist? And I said, I was. She said, well, he came and met with me at breakfast to give me money. And I said, you're kidding me. And she said, no, he did. I said, wait a minute. So I picked up this man in my car, which he said I didn't have a car. I picked him at the airport. I had a date with him and he left me to go meet with somebody at breakfast. So this is a man who, if we want to talk about secret lives, he's had masters and slave contracts with women. And the stuff that I came across, like I
He
said,
sounds
he has
like
a completely secret life. Yeah, perfect match for me. 100%
Okay.
perfect.
All right. Wait, hang on.
But anyways, bottom line is, am I a victim in this? Yes, I'm a victim. I went without teeth for 7 months. So,
But
yes.
in all fairness, he's saying that he's a victim.
How is he a victim?
I don't know. How are
He
you?
left me half mid-procedure.
I wish I knew your name. I can't. It's like I feel bad. I'm going, hey, dude, how are you a victim?
That's all right. That's fine. I offered to install her teeth at no charge. I offered her to bring anyone of her choice into the room against all COVID rules so she could watch and feel comfortable. She refused.
Okay.
Over and over.
Okay. But here's the thing.
Why would you do that?
Okay. But let's go back to the dating thing. I mean, I get it.
Right.
I'm a guy. Okay. It's like obviously you must be kind of okay. Is it safe to say that you're comfortable in life? Like
Me or her?
Financially comfortable?
Me or her?
You. I want to call you.
Yes, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
She researched me on Google to make sure I was a good dentist.
Okay. I'm just saying. But the thing is, you said, "Hey, let's go to Cabo," knowing it's like if I was like me, I'd say, "I'm going to fly a girl to Cabo. I want to get laid." Okay, can we just?
I was already going.
Okay, it is what it is. So, but I mean, is there any way that maybe we could just you want everybody to go? It's just like water under the bridge. Now what? I mean, what is it going to do? Dragging everybody and just carrying on. I mean, honestly, I'm at this point now where I'm starting to figure this out.
Sure. Ms. Martel posted today my name and all of these allegations, most of which are lies, on her own Facebook. Okay. And she is liable for slander because of that, because these are unsubstantiated, undocumented. Assault charge was dismissed. Protective order was dismissed. And she's alleging an assault that never happened. Now she's the one 6 months later that's coming on your show to try and feed you and your fan
3 or 3 million. Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, I get it. I don't know. We weren't talking about I didn't know we were going to get into this. I really didn't.
Well, good. It's obviously we've all said our piece. I would hope that Ms. Martel will focus on her life and not the people that are supporting her lavish lifestyle with tens of thousands of dollars and make it on her own.
Look, it's clear, Mr. Kondoff, it's clear that you've come on the show to disparage me, firstly. Secondly, I would just say this. I would say, look, you understand that the threshold for disparaging someone, it has to be that it's untrue. And at the end of the day, look, the facts are the facts. I don't know how you're going to come after me and sue me. And if you do, that's great, because like I said, I'm ready to go after you now civilly for the costs that it's taken to repair everything. And the fact that it's only happening now is because I've only just recently had my mouth repaired.
You used everyone else's money. You didn't spend a dime, and you were offered them for free.
Mr. Kondoff, you as the dentist, I trusted you not only as someone I was dating, but I trusted you as a professional. You proceeded to do the prep work on my teeth. You left me mid-procedure to scramble. On top of that, it took me months to be able to even find someone and the finances to be able to rectify everything completely. I should have never been put into that position. You have a professional obligation, and whether you choose to accept the fact that you also had a moral obligation, but we'll leave that aside. At the end of the day, I plan on holding you accountable. I will hold you accountable. I have started a GoFundMe for the legal fees. And on top of that, I also, when I was at the courthouse and I was looking up, trying to get the protective order against you for the harassment, your ex-fiance also had a protective order, and her story was very similar to mine. Had I known that before, I never would have dated you. I never would have trusted you to do any work on my mouth. And for you to come on this show and disparage me when that is your track record is laughable. laughable. But make no mistake, I am coming, and I absolutely will hold you accountable for the position that you left me in and for the finances that were required to restore my smile to where it was prior to when I met you, sir. Make no mistake, it's coming.
Mr. Dude, I don't know your name. I wish I knew your name.
Sure.
I really
His
feel bad.
name is Dr. Ronald Kondoff from
Okay,
Virginia Beach.
Mr. Kondoff. I would love to call you by first name, but okay. I mean, here's where I'm really confused. How did it go so wrong mid operations or whatever you want to call this? How the hell does it go from you guys are probably having a great time because I'm into it, I get it, you guys are let me get right here, you guys are having a good time, you know, life is good. How does it go from like I'm dating you, it's fun having sex, and all of a sudden like you're doing her teeth and it's like everything just comes to a halt? How?
Very easily.
Okay, I'm listening.
Good. She begged me to do those teeth. I did not want to do them.
Why?
I refused the number because it's not the right way to do that. She is visiting, a short visit. You have to mock those veneers up. She wanted them to be twice as long as what was naturally acceptable. I refused until she kept begging and begging and begging. First of all, so we prepped the teeth. I had my lab guy make them quickly in 5 days. Put them back in, and out the door we go.
Okay.
All right. In the meantime, she finds past text, and she has been privately recording our conversations, asking about girlfriends, asking about business associates, only to find out that she's going to use that against me. She actually sent a private conversation to a woman that I dated's daughter. And tried to get her to come after me too. All of these people didn't give her a time of day. They said, leave him alone. He's a good guy.
But were you guys getting along? Were you getting along? Wait, hang on, because this is just confused. Were you getting along? How did somebody claim to be running in the streets in a see-through cover?
She wasn't in the see-through. It was her bathrobe.
Okay, but even still, how did you do that?
This is how it happened. She calls me from work. Threatens me. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to take you for all you can.
Why?
I'm going to keep the car. I'm going to keep the apartment that is in my name. And I want my teeth and I want my stuff back. I said, come and get your stuff. But no doubt.
If things were going good though, why would this even come to about?
Francine is unfortunately a very jealous, very insecure woman. She found my past where I was dating other women, and it bothered her, blew her mind.
Okay.
And she came after me. Okay. And you don't come after a doctor when they're working on patients and tell them you're going to ruin them or destroy them or take their money.
Okay. Look.
That's quite laughable. Because I think what Dr. Kondoff doesn't know is that the day that I had to seek refuge in the bathroom, the only thing I did have with my purse was an iPad, and there's an 8-minute video recording of what transpired. But like I said, we'll save that for when we go the civil route.
This is getting way deep. I mean, I listen, and both of you, I want you to understand. It's he said, she said. I have no. Absolutely. I'm not judging any of you. Okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate you coming forward, both of you. And I didn't expect my doctor friend to come on, but okay. I don't know your name. I hate this because I'm a first name kind of guy. Okay.
My name is Ron.
I'm pretty sure a woman doesn't call the dentist on the eve of a procedure and threaten him before her teeth are installed.
Okay. Either way, okay. But the thing is, where this is good. This is both. Maybe both. Everybody needs to go. Take a breath. But there's nothing I can see that we're going to get. I'm glad it's out. I hope that maybe airing this out will make everybody think a little bit, I'm not
coming after Fran. She's coming after me. You heard her claim on your show.
Oh, I haven't, but I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, look,
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, I don't know. At the end of the day, the truth is within both of you.
That's
So
right.
that's it.
As a woman, is that the kind
Right.
of person you want to aspire to? Somebody that is constantly searching for the next dollar from another gentleman, constantly living in other people's homes. She rented the car. She didn't have an apartment at the time. She has been sued for squatting in Miami-Dade County currently. It's public record. My case was dismissed, period. Dismissed means
Mr. Kondoff, your case was dismissed because I didn't have the funds to show up because it was an out of state and I had already showed up previously in November. So at the end of the day, it was dismissed only because I couldn't prosecute it. Secondly, I've put on my Facebook and I've started a GoFundMe. I will be coming after you civilly for that. And at the end of the day, you can try to disparage me all you want, but I've had a 30-year successful career as an executive in Canada. And the fact that I'm in the US, I was on an unpaid leave of absence. I wasn't, and technically I can't even work in the US. Immigration won't even allow me to. So for you to use that against me and to suggest that I'm doing all these things to live off of other people is laughable. And at the end of the day, it doesn't dismiss the accountability and the responsibility that you have towards what you began.
Fran Martel, go home.
All
The
right.
men of our country will be happier.
Okay.
Go home.
Look, both of you.
Okay.
Both, okay. As much as I appreciate your outgoingness and to air it out and all that, we're going to get nowhere. I mean, we're just not. And I'm getting all kinds of comments. It's like, this is supposed to be. Look, this is what it is. This show.
Look, Peter, can I make a comment? Can I just say, I hope this. Peter, I hope that, that other people watching this, at the end of the day, it is not easy for somebody to come forward. And regardless of what this particular individual says, to anybody who has been in a domestic violence type situation, or somebody who has to go through the divorce route or about to go through the legal system, it takes bravery. It's not fun. People don't like to have to talk about it out loud. It's sometimes shameful or embarrassing. And sometimes you can be bullied, you can be ridiculed. People will use things or make up stuff to get you to backtrack. At the end of the day, I hope that, I hope that people become empowered by, at the end of the day, you have one life to live and live by your principles. And at the end of the day, if someone has done you wrong, then I think there's nothing wrong in seeking to hold them accountable. And in my particular case, it was accountability through the legal system, which I've tried. And in Virginia Beach, it just happens to be a very difficult process for somebody with no money. And I hope that at some point I would love to be able to shed some light on the Virginia Beach criminal system, and not so much on Dr. Kondoff. It's more about the system itself, because I ran into some challenges in being able to prosecute this particular case. And in a lot of ways, the laws are so archaic that it doesn't make sense. And so if that helps move the needle, at least even a little bit, towards helping victims in the Virginia Beach area, then you know what, this will all have been worth it. And unfortunately for me, I will have to go down the civil road as well.
Hey, I get it, Ron. Hey, Ron.
Yes, sir.
I mean, good or bad. I mean, it just takes, to me, it's like, I don't get, like I said, I'm not taking sides. I'm not, because I don't know you. I really don't know. But the thing is, to me, if I was going to come out publicly and say stuff, you better be friggin' spot on, or it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. You know what I'm saying?
I will absolutely stand behind everything I've said.
Okay.
I have a 3-ring binder full of crap that she has in relation to her. I'll just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the alleged assault that never happened. The incident happened on Tuesday. Ms. Martel left my house in a robe.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. and stole my Mercedes Benz. Okay, I talked to her. I asked her politely, day 2, return my car, come back and get your stuff. No response. The next thing you're going to hear from is a lawyer. Okay, whatever. right? If she was so assaulted, so abused, any system, any police department in the country would see any kind of bruises, any kind of marks, and they would come right after her. They never did. 2 days later, she had 2 Norfolk police officers in her room privately. They went up there to retrieve my key because by the grace of God, I found my car, which she was going to continue to have.
Why did she report it stolen?
I did. There's a police report for it. Come
No, no, Peter. Can I respond, Peter? So, Peter, just a few. So I know. So a few things that are funny on this. So he says I stole his car. I didn't steal his car. First of all, he had me insured on the vehicle. First of all, I was insured on it. And secondly,
in that shorter time period, he put you insured on his car?
Yeah, he put me on that Mercedes. He insured me. Yes.
Ron?
Sir,
did you put her on insurance on your car in that short of dating
I have
period?
insurance on my car. Yes, anybody that drives my car is going to have insurance. Isn't that the right thing to do?
Well, no, because I have insurance on my own car. And if I drive somebody else's car, my insurance kind of covers it.
No, the insurance was on my name. She was added as an additional driver.
That's pretty. That's getting tight, isn't it?
Yes.
Well,
yeah. So when I fled, the police came and the police couldn't do anything. They said, you haven't stolen it because your name is also, you're entitled to drive it. You're insured.
No.
So the police didn't do anything. And the second thing I should also say, there is pictures of injuries. So had we kept going with the criminal stuff, and it will come out in the civil, but there are injuries.
There are no.
Yes.
Look, all right, listen, guys. I mean, I'm already well over time. I wasn't expecting this. I honestly wasn't. Again, I'm going to step back 10 minutes ago. I appreciate Ron, you coming on and calling because apparently, Francine is okay with putting this out with you right here live, and that's cool. I look,
absolutely. There's nothing.
Okay,
she is disparaging me and my reputation.
Okay,
I've never been sued in my 33 years. She's the only one that has ever even remotely done that. But let me finish.
That's not true. His ex-fiance is terrified of him.
What's the okay? I don't know because I'm getting a bunch of other people talking. I don't know who to believe here. Not that
it's not for you to
You're
judge.
right. You're right, and I'm not. I'm confused. How about that?
To ask Miss Martel to move on with her life. She has her teeth by another generous gentleman who she is currently suing for $75,000 more. Why? He already gave her 60. Well, that's the kind of girl we're talking about. That's the kind of predator we have. It's public record in the Miami-Dade County. The lawsuit he's got against her and the lawsuit she's recently.
Right. And that's correct. And you know what? At the end of the day, the situation that Mr. Kondoff put me in with respect to my teeth and the financial situation that he put me into is all of his doing. So
have him done over and over and over. She abandoned her own work so that she
What woman would abandon her dental work mid-procedure so that she would have no social life? Please.
No other woman I know. Do you know anybody that would do that? Do you know anybody that walk around with their teeth shaved down for months when they could come in and get it done?
Please.
All right. Because
we'll save it for the civil court case.
Yeah, you guys are gonna have to do again. I appreciate your honesty, both of you. I do. If you want to come back, I wasn't expecting it. Had I known this was what it was gonna be, I'd have you both on camera. You both can do it and talk it out and hopefully walk it off and just whatever.
My life has moved on. She has her teeth. She should be happy. She's nothing but being. I have no one has any idea why she's being so aggressive. There was no physical fault here.
Okay.
She left town without her teeth when she was offered multiple times. She used $8,000 to try 2 different attorneys in town to sue me, neither of which would take the case, and she left.
That's not true. That's not true.
Okay. All right. We're not getting anywhere.
So It took 10 days of me living like a homeless person, and only once the Canadian Embassy got involved did I get any of my personal belongings. So trust me, if I couldn't get my cell phone and my personal belongings, I wasn't going to get my teeth from this dentist. Please.
Ms. Martel, you had an appointment at the house to pick up all of your belongings 3 days after.
You're such a liar. You're such a liar. But again, right, you know what? We'll put the information out there.
Hey, let's all be nice, at least for me.
He's
okay?
such a liar.
You guys can do this off camera. Yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much.
Listen, and thank you for calling in, because again, it life is full of choices. And as a guy, we all make these choices. So
I made a mistake.
Okay. Well, you both say you made a mistake, but that's okay. Okay. But again, be thankful we're all here. That's for one, because not some people aren't that lucky. We're gonna have to like wrap this up because I'm
right.
I'm exhausted. Right. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. But again, thank you. And if you want to take, you guys want to duke it out on camera, that's fine and dandy. But I'm sorry that you're only on the phone. I wasn't expecting this, but thank you. And I'm going to let, as soon as I let you go, I'm going to let Francine go, and I'm going to wrap it up. And I don't know, again, we were talking about a bunch of things. We got sidetracked, but this all has to do with life. And again, obviously it's hurting both of you.
The hurt on me is a continual aggression against me when this situation is done. She has her teeth. She was offered her teeth multiple times. There is no malpractice here. There is any pillow talk we had is all verbal, just like the masseuse she's got.
Oh, that pillow talk is verbal. Oh my God. Well, it's a good thing he said I was recording everything. So maybe the pillow talk wasn't all verbal.
Oh boy! All right, look. Let's let it go, okay? Because we can go on and on for hours, and we're not. And again, this is just sharing stories.
It's pillow talk.
Ron,
be warned.
Okay.
Be warned.
Well, I had nothing to be warned about. I mean,
no. I'm not saying you.
Okay, thank you.
You're in the middle.
Because I'm not anybody's type. Have you seen my face? There's not a lot to work with here.
You're doing fine.
All right. Listen, thank you, man.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go right now, and then I'm gonna talk to Francine off the air, and then we're done. Okay.
If you have my phone number, you can contact me, and
if you guys want to take it further, I'm all in. But the thing is, this is just like organic happening. I just wasn't.
There's no point in this.
Okay, you're right. There you go. Well, then why? Then
let it go.
Then again, unless you want to hang out, why would I want to contact you? I mean.
Because she's not going to let it go.
I'm not. The thing is, I'm going to let it go because I got to. This is just a right now, and tomorrow I wake up and it's another day. We are not dating. You know what I mean? Okay. I mean, not that I would, but the thing is, we are not dating. It's just the way it is. It just happened. So thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care.
Take care.
Boy, you guys. I wasn't. I mean, I don't know what you were expecting, but I definitely.
Well, no, that does not surprise me. I've had a number of threats and people contact me, so I told you up front that does not surprise me.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I swore to my people that like I'm going to start keeping this show like to an hour 5, an hour 10. It's supposed to be an hour show, but this was like a blockbuster, and. And I don't even know where I'm going. Oh, so here's what I'm going to do right now.
Right.
Okay, I'm taking everybody with a grain of salt. I mean, I'm not going to say that you're wrong, he's right, he's wrong, you're wrong, everybody's wrong. But the thing is, you are doing something. You have a website and things like that. And
I do.
Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody is innocent till proven guilty. It's got nothing to do with me, so I don't care. So what are you doing currently, and what are you going to do? Because we got to get off this thing because I'm going to get yelled at again.
Yeah. So I had started right before the teeth situation. I had started my Fantastic 50 brand, and I was in the midst of launching my website. Obviously, that got derailed by about 7 months. So just a week ago, I finally put up the FranMartel.com singleparenting.com website. I'm now on a number of social media, so you can contact me under Fantastic50. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram. I also have my Fantastic 50 public page as well as a private page on Facebook. And if you go to my website, you'll see I'm starting to do a lot of social influencer for 40 and over. And like I said, my platform is everything that has to do with helping change the narrative on how we act, think, or behave when it comes to 40 and over.
Okay. Because again, all I can say is people, regardless of who might be guilty, who's not guilty, whatever you're doing, however, people change. If you want to better yourself,
Right.
I'm the last person who's going to tell you not to. I mean, I'm all for it, but I don't know.
Right.
If you're into trying to be a decent human being, then go be a decent. Because I'm going to tell you, as a man, I've dealt with in Los Angeles, especially in my Hollywood days.
Right.
The first thing when I meet a girl is, "Hey, how you doing? What do you do for a living?" You know what I mean? That was the first. It is what it is, and I'm good with that. That's fine. But again, I'm not judging. Okay, I appreciate him coming on. I appreciate you coming on. I had no idea he was going to come on, but that's good. That's good. I'm hoping that it'll help. I find that when people watch this show after they do their show, it helps them take in things sometimes that they don't know that they really had to take in. So whatever.
Right. And I think you have to also take a look at the fact that, I only have known this dentist for 7 months, right? This only happened 7 months ago, never had contact with him again, other than, through lawyers or whatnot. But at the end of the day, I still, since 2016, have been on this road of self-improvement. And clearly, I think people who know me know that, when I met this particular dentist, I was in the best shape and emotionally, my life was going well enough that I could take a leave of absence and come to the US and live my best life. So for him to suggest, at the end of the day, this is about me living my best life. And I feel like I do have the lessons learned and the tips to be able to share with others. I think I've done the work. And at the end of the day, that's what my Fantastic 50 platform is all about. So I look forward to sharing that with people going forward.
All right, then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wish you your best life, because we all deserve our best life. And I wish even the Ron who you're having an issue with, his best life. Again, we all have our priorities and things like that. I'm just thankful to be. I realize no matter how bad somebody's life is, there's somebody who's got who can tell you a story way worse than theirs. And
100%.
I wake up every day grateful, supremely grateful, because I don't know how the hell I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. So I wish you, both of you, the best. Not that we won't talk again. If you want to talk again, just reach out. Okay,
right?
Both of you. Again, I bring him on camera too, but he wants to move on. I don't know what's going on. I cannot judge. And again, as my friend Pepsi says, can't we all just get along? It's just, life is too short.
Look, to suggest, I don't live in that space anymore. Like I said, the last 7 months for me was about restoring my mental health, my smile, and just being able to function again. Look, as a woman, having your mouth messed up for 7 months is no fun.
I think as a man. Luckily, we had masks.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I can't tell you that for me was the longest 6-7 months of my life. But now, make no mistake, I'm going to be out in public. I'm going to be doing all the stuff that I did. I'm going to be all the positive habits. Look, at the end of the day, we are a reflection of the decisions that we make. And I got myself into a bad situation with a bad individual. I will take care of it how that needs to be. And at the end of the day, I will still continue on with my life. And I know that I'm blessed. I still have, great people, great things happening in my life. And my career is about to take off again in a new direction. So this is just a small speed bump on the road.
That's right. May God bless all of us.
Attitude of gratitude.
Well, absolutely. All right, listen, Francine Martel, thank you so much for being
Thank you, Peter.
on my show. Again, no. I guess somebody said, I don't know who. Again, no domestic violence. I'm getting complaints that I'm not talking about domestic violence. I think I am. Domestic violence,
Well,
domestic abuse, whatever. We were talking about that stuff earlier on in her life. Whatever. I gotta make apologies. No apologies. Sorry, not sorry. It's all one way or another. Something came about this whole discussion. That's it. You know what? Maybe next week. Next week, you want to talk about drug abuse? Tune in next week, because I got a girl that has a story and a half. And now her daughter's a drug addict, and it's tearing her apart because she's been there. So be grateful. All right, listen, Francine Martel, where are you? Let me get you back on here. Thank you. And I guess time will only tell how we end up, all right?
100%. Time is the best predictor
of
what's to happen.
Whatever happens. Yeah, nobody can predict.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
100%.
So that's why I'm so blessed every day I wake up. I just thank my God that I was able to get up and whatever happens is going to happen.
Yeah, I believe that, you know what, I leave it in God's hands. We'll just leave it at that.
All right, because that's a hell of a statement right there. You know,
right.
It really is, at least in my book. I'm the guy. Right. I'm like, yeah, okay. So that's it. Thank you, and we'll talk to you down the road. We'll be in touch. This show will live on. You can watch it, share it, do whatever the heck you want to do with it. People, I mean, believe me, maybe you think this show was a waste of time for a couple of you commenting, but I beg to differ. There's no domestic violence. It's like bullshit. And
I will say this, Peter, you know what, I will say to people, if you're really interested in knowing, more in depth, I will be doing a series on my TikToks, and I will be, more in depth in terms of some of my personal experiences. Okay. I haven't done any lives. And the huge part of that, people should know, the reason why I didn't do lives is because my mouth was messed up. Okay. I'm like fully functional now, and you can expect me to be very vocal on my social platforms.
Cool, because stories, I mean, again, this is the way I tell it. It's regardless of whether I talk politics or personal, I put this information out there. It's for you to decide how you want to take it and what you want to do with it. That's it. So, okay, just off topic. I'm sorry. Yeah, Chain Shield. Somebody called Chain Shield. I don't know who you are, but thank you for watching. And again, I'm not perfect. We just kind of go with the flow, and it is what it is. Until I have a producer standing in front of me like I used to have prior to COVID, I just kind of that's my flaw. Yeah, I know. I'm complaining, but thank you. But again, it is what it is. How about next week? Come next week. I'll try to stay on topic. Okay, that's it. All right, Francine.
Thank you, Peter.
Back on. So wave goodbye to everybody, and I'm gonna let you go. Okay. All right. Thank
you, Peter. Right. Thanks for having me.
I love you. Thank you. I'll see you later. I want everybody to take a sip real quick. I got a several syllable word. Holy crap. But you know what? I believe in this stuff. I believe for every time these things come out, there's always something that comes out good from it. I do. And I thank each and every one of you for tuning in and watching. What are we doing? We took the calls. Next week, okay, I'm going to try and stay on topic next week. I have Karen that's going to be on. We're going to be in the Gulf Coast next week. I'm going to be in the Bolt Energy Gulf Coast studios next week, and I'm going to be there for a while. Hey. Jerry Springer. I know, this is not Jerry Springer, but there wasn't no knockdown dragouts. But this is life, people. It's called Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show. This is life. I talk about this stuff. Don't hate. Let's change this. Hey, speaking of don't hate, hang on. Speaking of don't hate, if anybody's got things they want to talk about and they want to be on this show, and Michelle, I'm sorry, your daughter's probably asleep. I had everything ready to go, but I didn't see you on, and I didn't mention your daughter's name, so let's just save it for next week, okay? I had a big old reminder right there. In fact, I did even better than that because Michelle is a fan. She wanted me to mention her daughter's name, and I was even, I even had that. But we'll save it for next week because I know she's asleep. Oops. If you want to be a guest on the Peter G Show, you got something you want to talk about, get off your chest. It's called Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. Okay? It's real simple. Talk to me. Talk to me. I'm going to be in the Gulf Coast for more than half the summer. Thanks to Bolt Energy. We're going to be at the Bolt Energy Studios doing the Peter G Show from the Gulf of Mexico. My fave. So I don't want anybody to I want you all to tune in, but if you want to be a guest on the show, just contact us, okay? Tell me what you want to talk about. And if you want to talk about it and it's worthy of, I'm going to bring you on. I want to thank Ron calling in and doing all this, but it is what it is, okay? And I wasn't expecting this. But again, life is short. Try to be a decent human being. Don't take any shit from anybody, but be kind. Next week, again, Karen's going to be on. Several decade drug addict. Cleaned her act up. Has an adult daughter now who's going down the same path. Watching her go to jail. And I mean, if you saw those, you ever seen those before and after picture? This beautiful girl, and then the mug shot of the crack addict. This is it. It's killing her too, because she managed to get herself straight, and now she's dealing with her own demons. She's going to come on and she's going to talk about it because she's brave enough and bold enough to talk about that stuff, and that's part of mental health, and that'll be my part of my mental health awareness month in May. Next week. Oh, also in June's going to be, while I'm in Florida, I'm doing music. I'm going to bring Rob Fetters from the Raisins / Psychodots / the Bears. Rob Fetters, Cincinnati musician who had a huge impact on the Gulf Coast, Pensacola area. He just called me yesterday, and he's going to be on the show in early June. But again, I'm going to bring on a lot of influential stuff that happened to me that meant a lot to a lot of people in the Gulf Coast in June. But right now, we're done. There we go. Very sad, but sure. Oh, you know what? Who called me? You called me Judge Peter? Oh, no, wait. Hang on. I got to get out of here. If I had a producer, he'd be swearing at me up and down. In fact, Ty would be just like, get the hell off. But I don't. So I'll do what I want. I'm going to... sorry. Somebody's pulling their hair out. Michael Schwartz is pulling his hair out. Wow, a lot of comments. That's good. I appreciate you guys getting into it. But this is like crazy night. Judge Peter show. Nah. It just kind of fell that way. Anyway, whatever. All right, listen, all you beautiful people. I love you all. You know I do. I do. Life is full of choices. You don't have to sit and watch me, little old me. But I appreciate you and I love you very much because I know life is full of choices. I have to make choices too. We all do. But I'll see you next Sunday night, live from the Gulf Coast. I can't say that enough. It's going to be a whole different shebango. A lot of work to be done. It ain't easy moving this show around. And, yeah. But I'm going to try to have a little bit of fun while I'm there too. But there's a lot of work involved too. It's all business. Don't let this fool you. Listen, some chill music. Let's all chill. All right, that's enough of that. All right. So next week, all right? Same bat time, same bat channel. And you guys are the cat's meow, so handle it. Love you guys more than anything. You know that. I didn't even get to talk about half the stuff I want to talk about personally, but there'll be a time and a day for that if I don't forget. Love you guys. Peace out.
Peter G Show, Peter G Show, divorced dad, single